today I have something called the 5 S's of getting super sleep. It's kind of they didn't used to be S's, like, if I'm being fully honest. They didn't used to be S's, but I turned them all into S's just because it's easier and it's a nice little list and it's all S's. And then I picked 5. It used to be 4. Added a 5th one because the number 5 looks like an S. And these are all simple and specific and spectacular. Just layers upon layers of S's. It's like a... Okay, I was trying to think of a vegetable that starts with the letter S, but we'll just go with onion. Go with onions. Just layers upon layers. Just to be, I don't know, just be silly and fun. Why not, right? So, we'll start with the first one. And I have these in order. Like, the first one's going to be kind of boring, but as we go, the last few S's are, like, really exciting. Okay, so number 1 is schedule. It's pretty simple. You go to bed at the same time every day, and you wake up the same time every day. That's it. Done. Consistent schedule. Your brain, your body is on a cycle. We train our brain to be in tune with these cycles. So just the act of going to bed the same time every day, waking up the same time every day makes a world difference. I implemented a serious morning routine last week, which means I'm waking up the same time every day, and I feel immensely way more productive and way more energized just from having that routine. And I know a lot of people out there, either you're working from home or you're in a situation where you have a little bit less structure, in your life. So this is a great way to keep that structure going during this weird, awkward time where we're all doing things differently right now to protect ourselves. So that's number 1. Number 2 is shut down. You're not going to want to hear this. Shutting down is the hour or 2 before you actually lay down in bed. You need to turn off things that stimulate your brain. That exciting TV show that you're binge watching, your phone, the video game, the phone game, whatever it is, social media, get off of it, turn it off. It's stimulating your brain and it's keeping you awake. And it's like, I want you to imagine that things that stimulate your brain, it's like poking. So you're at the end of the night, you're trying to get sleepy, you're trying to wind down, and yet you're going to someone and tell them, hey, just keep poking my brain, please. Just keep doing it. Yeah, keep poking my brain. This is great. Keep doing this. Oh, man, this is exciting. I'm having a great time. You're not going to go to sleep, right? So shutdown is number 2, and I did a silly thing so you would remember it. Number 3 is signals. So this is a really cool one, signals. So anyone's taken like an introduction to psychology class, you've probably heard of Pavlov's dog. That's where they have a dog, you show the dog a steak, the dog's gonna drool. And then they start adding a bell. So they ring the bell, they present the steak, the dog drools. They do that enough times, eventually all they gotta do is ring the bell, the dog's gonna drool with no steak. The dog has then come to believe or been trained that that bell means I'm getting some steak. The bell is now a signal for steak. The same thing happens for human beings. I mean, as highly evolved as we are, and sophisticated and intellectual and creative with our artistic pursuits and building big businesses and creating these amazing things, we're still basically pretty easily trained. We train each other all the time. If you want your partner to help out more around the house, you catch them doing dishes and then you give them like a little pat on the back and say, I love you, honey, and give them a little rub. You're giving them a dog treat. It's what you're doing. You're giving them a dog treat for washing the dishes. And you know what? They're going to do it more often, assuming they like that, assuming they like you touching them, which I hope they do. So what are some signals you could do for bed? Again, I go in the zone 2 hours before bed. There are certain things you can do to create those signals, to create those bells. So it could be dimming or turning off some of the lights. Could be changing into pajamas. It could be doing your evening hygiene routine, like I'm going to take a shower, going to brush my teeth at this certain time leading up to bedtime. And again, what that does is it creates little signals in your brain. So as you do this often enough, your brain will associate, oh, we dimmed out the lights, I changed it to comfortable clothes, bedtime's coming soon, I better get ready. And doing something like that will actually help you. Another big tip is for taking showers and baths, especially hot showers, do it 2 hours before you lay down to go to bed. What's going to happen when you take a shower, your temperature is going to rise a little bit, it's going to perk you up, and then over the course of the next 2 hours, as your body temperature drops back down, it's going to kick in that nice sleepy feeling. So I highly recommend that you make that part of your signal. Okay, number four. Number four, it's sobriety. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Sobriety. So I imagine a lot of you people, that sounds really condescending. I imagine a lot of you out there, maybe you have a drink or two or three at the end of the night or after work in order to wind down, in order to relax. If you're sleeping great, I'm not gonna tell you to do nothing. But if you're having sleeping problems, you may want to think about that differently. You go, but John, I just have one drink, and it just relaxes me and helps me get sleepy. No. So alcohol is a depressant, right? But in small amounts, it acts more like a stimulant. So when you first start drinking, you get that buzz feeling. You actually feel like you have more energy. You get more loud, and some people out there are more obnoxious, and they think that everybody wants to hear the conversation. Luckily, I haven't had that experience in a long time since we're all avoiding bars and restaurants. So no, that doesn't work. So the one drink doesn't work. But then you go, well, John, I have a whole bottle of wine and I passed out and it's great. It helps me fall asleep. There's a difference between falling asleep and passing out. So here's something that happens. When your brain is drunk, like a lot of alcohol when it's drunk, it loses its ability to go into deep REM sleep, like REM, rapid eye movement, or the deeper levels of sleep. So you're going up and down in the sleep cycles, and you're just bottoming out too early whenever that brain is drunk. So you could imagine, and I'm sure none of you have ever had this experience before, that you drink a lot and you wake up early, or you just don't feel refreshed the next day. Yes, you are hungover, and your sleep was terrible in quality because of that brainwave stuff happening. So sobriety, yeah, it's gonna help with sleep. All right, I'm on the last one, and this one I really like. The sacred. The bed is sacred. I'll say it again. The bed is sacred. That means there are only two things that should be happening in your bed. And they both start with the letter S. More fun with S. You figure that out. One is sleep. You figure out the other one. Those are the only two things you should be doing in bed. Here's the reason why. We don't want to create signals that the bed is just another place to hang out in your home or your apartment. If you watch TV in bed, if you do your work in bed, if you, God forbid, eat in bed, you're basically, in your brain, creating signals that just because I'm in bed does not mean that I need to go to sleep. So you need to stick to those two things, the only two things you're going to do in bed. And if you're not doing this one, then the only other option is, I think I actually flipped you off. Then the only other option is sleep. That's the only option. And that way it'll create signals that keep you awake. And you're going to find that when you lay down in bed, your body's going to be all about getting to sleep. So that's the 5 silly, simple S's for spectacular sleep time. Drop in the comments what helps you fall asleep. Hopefully it's legal. But let us know and share, because we need as much information as possible. Anxiety is high right now. The future is uncertain. We're in uncharted territory. We're doing the best we can. We're helping each other, and we need our sleep to keep our immune systems rock solid. So please share what works for you to help you get a nice, restful night of sleep. And reach out to me if there's other things that you want me to talk about, stuff you're interested in. I go more in depth as far as emotional health or just basic coping skills, or doing the best we can during this time to be an awesome, powerful beacon of calm.